Hi. Hello. This should be working, fingers crossed, because I'm going to record an entire episode. It's like half an hour after I started recording the last episode. I've had some lunch. Yeah. What were we going to do? Oh yes, sorry, I flashed you again. I promised you all a workshop, so let's build us a workshop. It's going to go over there. Yes, I've forgotten which button I want, that one. Let's get cracking, basically. I don't have any other blocks that I want. Great. Cracking start. Okay, where's the drill? Over there. Okay, so I'm gonna quickly take this drill down to the deep slate layer because I need a bunch of tough. Have I got some rails in there? Oh, wonderful. Yeah, I need a bunch of tough, so usual tactic of throw myself in a hole. Fingers crossed we might get some diamonds as well. Might be quite nice. Ow. Yeah, I will give this to you. I'll probably just do a cut, to be fair. I should have done this between episodes really, but I didn't think about it. So I'm going to cut to me having lots of useful resources. So yeah, I'll see you all in like half an hour or so for me. But, and we're back again for the second time because I forgot to turn the mic on the first time round. Hello. That was amazingly quick because I happened to stumble across some stuff and decided rather than faffing about waiting for the drill to do it, I was just going to mine it out manually. So I have got a fair wedge of stuff. Now today's episode is not going to be focused on building, but I do want a nice flat platform upon which to build, so having some tuff will be very useful for that. Now I do want a stone cutter, so I'm just going to cook up a spot of stone and ditch a load of this stuff that I don't need. Oops, I do need that. Oops, and oops. There we go, I need that. Okay, so, nope, there's a tree there. Our workshop's going to go over here. Yeah, sort of covering this hole in the ground here. I say hole in the ground, it's just a little divot. I believe that's how I refer to it at least. Yeah, so this shouldn't be a complicated process to make a workshop. We've already got most of the machines over there, but it's just getting them in a slightly more ordered fashion. Let's have a bunch of this stuff. Right, so we want some layered tuff, and let's go with some tough bricks and some tuff. We want all of those things. Yep. Sorry, my brain buffered briefly. So what we're going to do is we're just going to make a bit of an outline. Now, I don't know how big I want this to be. Oops. So I'm doing a thing that, you know, I'm not doing a Mr. Beardstone, as I have affectionately come to refer to it, in that I'm not going to build a building before I've built all the things that need to go in the building. So I'm just going to do that, and I'm going to leave those two sides open so that we can extend in those directions if we need to. Yeah, and then, do you know what? I can't be bothered to put texture on this, so I am just going to use all cut tough bricks, because I'm lazy, basically. Cut tough bricks, let's do that. Let's do all of these. I'll save a stack. Actually, I think I can change these out, can't I? Okay. I won't bother saving a stack then. And I'm just going to fill in this area. And this is what we're going to start with. And all this is doing is giving us a nice flat area to work with. And obviously once we stick a building on it, it will look all pretty as well. As I say, my building skills are not fantastic, so do not be expecting the most fantastic level of building. if you want to see some decent building in the Create mod, go watch Foxy No Tail or Mr. Beard. They are fantastic builders and decent Create mod. I have some qualms with some of my methods. Foxy is better than Beardy. And if either of you are watching this, my goal for this channel is to get invited to Just Create Series 3. So, if you feel like inviting me along, that'd be lovely. Right, basic platform on the ground. Now, we're going to need a variety of, what's the word I'm looking for, machines to go in here. So let's go at create, and let's see what we need. So obviously we're going to need presses, we're going to need mixers. We're going to need mixers with blaze burners, and we're also going to need mixers with water. So that's three mixers, yeah. We're also going to need a press over a basin, so that's 2 presses, 3 mixers. Am I going to bother with a saw? Probably won't bother with a saw. I will want a deployer though. Yes, mechanical crafters and crushing wheels subsequently. The crushing wheels might have to wait, but the mechanical crafters we can absolutely do. Now, mechanical crafters are a very, very important thing in the Create mod that is going to require us to get some wood. But while we run around finding some wood, I am going to talk to you about what a mechanical crafter does. And frankly, it does what it says on the tin, it crafts mechanically. But they are great because of their integration with Create's recent post-production, Create 6, whatever you want to call it. Because they have a fantastic why did I do that? Okay. They have a fantastic interaction with how frog ports work, which makes life so much easier in so many ways. Yes. But for what we need 21 mechanical crafters. Now they come in batches of 3, I believe, which means we need 7. Let's just check that they come in batches of 3. Yes, they do. Right, we need 21, batches of 7, so we need 7 of everything that is required to make a mechanical crafter. That's more than enough wood. What else is required? Crafting tables and not electron tubes again. We are going to make a semi-automatic system for electron tubes, but I don't know if I'm going to have enough redstone. See, this is the problem with not going on a massive long mining trip, is I don't have things like redstone. Okay, let's keep our fingers crossed and hope. There's a life summed up. What's the solution to this problem? I don't know, hope for the best. Yeah, between this episode and the next one, no, not between this episode and the next one, between the next episode and the one after that, I'm going to do a massive mining session and get a bunch of upgrades for my backpack and all things like that, because I'm getting a bit fed up of not having all the things that I need / want. Yeah, anyway, let's hope that we can make some mechanical progress. I've lost the electron sheets, that thing. How much can we make? 4. Okay, that's nowhere near. Okay, well I can demonstrate the principle, and then when we do our second episode of finishing up our factory workshop, then we can finish up the mechanical crafters as well. Hello! Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed that time-lapse of me crafting things. It wasn't originally intended to be a time-lapse, but I figured it was going to take so long anyway that I might as well time-lapse it each time for customer content. Although no, obviously. So here are most of the things that we're doing for the time being, or phase 1 of this workshop if you will. I'm going to need some more belts, but currently my focus is So yeah, let's get cracking while Cub cooks. I am looking for this as well, rather than making a new one. That press can stay, I reckon. Oh, that press. I'll have that thing. Right. So I am going to build this. Let's start over in this corner. I would like a blocks space around the outside, so that's going to be our wall. So that's where our factory is going to start. Do I have like some torches or something? There. So let's use that as a marker. Yeah. Wonderful. Okay, so let's start actually with excuse me, a chest, and let's put it on this torch. That can go there. Now, this is something I quite like to do in my workshop buildings. Don't seem to have any shafts. No. That you may not want to do, depending on, well, what it is that you're doing, but I quite like to have one output chest for all of my, well, not all of them, but for most of these things. Well, those two, really, to be fair. Which not everybody likes, as I say, but I do, so we're going to do it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so what we're going to need is we're going to need... let's start with the presses. Now, one thing you can do with belts is if you make a little belt like that, and then get some more belts, you can extend them like that, which is immensely useful when you don't know how long you want your belt to be. Now, I'm going to leave a block space, and then we're going to do the same thing. 3? Do we want 3? No, I think we want 2, don't we? Yeah, let's go with 2. Belts. Extend those a little bit, actually. And you can then shorten belts by clicking with a wrench. Same principle. And then we want 2 presses like so. Yeah. And then we want another double chest. I'm going to need some more wood. I should have thought of that rather than sitting there picking locks. I sat and picked locks whilst I was waiting for my iron to smelt and things. And these are for the presses, so this can get away with being andesite funnels. So we have, I should explain this, we have 2 varieties of funnel in the Create mod. We have andesite and brass funnels. Andesite funnels will only allow through one thing at a time, whereas brass funnels are entirely configurable and can even be filtered. Also, if you can extend a funnel like that. The only reason I do that is so that there are less item entities. Yeah, it's just a little bit better for lag. That's all. Could have sworn I had some more coal somewhere. Oops, what did I... no. There it is. Let's keep that going. I am going to make a kelp farm at some point, don't worry. And then we want another one of them there, and we're also going to extend that one. Yeah. The other thing with andesite funnels is for inputs like this, they can accept any quantity. It's not that they can only accept one at a time as well as only spit out one at a time. So if you are using them for inputs like this, then yeah, you don't need to waste a brass funnel there, basically. Yeah. Right, we're gonna need a few more shafts. I'm gonna need more andesite alloy. Okay. I'm leaving a blocks gap. Do I want to leave a blocks gap? I mean, yeah, I think I do, on the whole. Yeah, I do. Okay. Yeah, okay. I need to grab some more wood whilst my kelp smelts. Again, we will be making a wood farm in the not too distant future, but all of that is party to me having a workshop. Because, well, I could do it without a workshop, just working with that little pile of machines we've got going over there. It would be a heck of a lot easier with a workshop. There was something I wanted to talk about and I've forgotten what it was, that's why I didn't stop recording as I ran over here. What was it? What was important? Oh yeah, the reason I'm doing 2 presses rather than 1 is, well, simply because it doubles the speed at which things are getting pressed. We're going to need a lot of things to get pressed in a relatively short space of time, on numerous occasions. That is a given throughout Create Mod. So, yeah. Ooh, there's a ruined portal over there, I hadn't noticed that before. So yeah, having a double press like that is good. I debated doing like a triple or quadruple or, you know, going bigger, but if you do go bigger then you need to use tunnels, which we will discuss in a future episode, but currently I don't have the willpower to bother making tunnels, and it would also make our machine a lot bigger, and I would like to keep relatively small and simple. Another thing that I wish to bring up, just double checking I've got my mic on, that would be embarrassing, wouldn't it? Another thing I wish to bring up is there has been a wave of portable workshops spreading across the Create Mod community. Which is one of the things I love about the Create community, is there are some things that when you think about it, it's a blazingly obvious thing to do, a portable workshop being one of those things. But yet somehow it never occurred to anybody until like not so long ago. Let's also knock up some andesite alloy. I think I might be short on andesite. Yes, I am. Okay, I need to grab some andesite then. And a portable workshop is great, and I will probably end up making a portable workshop at some point in the not too distant future. But as it stands, I want to make a stationary workshop so that you guys can understand the principle of, you know, what sort of things do you need in a workshop, all that jazz. And then, once we're moving around a bit more, I will probably have a train-based portable workshop. Yeah. And if I'm honest, portable workshops are great, but they can be quite laggy when you move them around, because obviously if you want your workshop to be of reasonable size, then yeah, that'll do. Then oops, not doing well today. Then that's a lot of blocks to be transporting at once. There's a few little tricks you can use to, minimise the lag, but yeah, it's not always the greatest. I think I need this to be a block longer. I think. My brain is not braining. No, I think we were right actually. Yeah. I think we were right. So with this is going to be our fanning setup, which sounds like a euphemism now I think about it. We are going to need some sort of bars, so let's use copper bars. Just because I happen to have some copper, it's relatively easy to get hold of. And those bars are going to go there. I'm going to use barrels purely for the fact that they look a bit better when you put them as single blocks, because I could use obviously a single chest, but I want to go with barrels. Yeah. You could use chests is my point. There we go. That can go like that, and then that. Yeah, that's what we want. And And then with this time I think we do want to use brass funnels, but they require electron tubes, which I should be able to make actually. Yeah, we should be good. We should actually be able to do something. Thank God for that. Sorry, I have been getting quite annoyed between episodes. Like, there's so many things, cool things that I want to do. I have so many fantastic plans. But because I'm not playing just casually, I can't like blitz through all this stuff and do it all really quickly. I have to actually sit around and explain what I'm doing and do everything at a reasonable pace. Because to be honest, I would just stay with this until I'm way later on down the line and I've got factories galore and I can make something like that really easily. But if you're starting out in Create, one of the most important things you can have is a decent workshop. So it's important that I tell you these things now and not when I would do them. Yeah, so a little bit of whining from me, I do apologise. But you know, I'm looking forward to having this workshop because it will mean that we can do at least slightly more stuff. Now here we're using brass funnels because I do want these to be able to output a stack at a time. Then we're going to have them go. We're going to extend them again. Yep. What was I doing? Oh yeah, we need to extend this belt by 2, and then we are going to need a rotational speed controller, which I believe we talked about before. Rotational speed upgrade. More wood. Oh no, I picked up some birch as well, didn't I? Specifically for the purpose of turning it into planks. That was the wrong button. There we go. There we go. Oops. Placing torches all over the place. See, I like my dynamic lighting mod. It does make life much easier for you guys. I do apologise. Yesterday, not yesterday, whenever the last episode released, I did a little bit of mining and didn't hold a torch in my offhand, so you guys couldn't see very well. I need a new pickaxe. Thankfully I've got diamonds galore, look at me go. So yeah, I apologise, that was not my finest crown load. Do you know what I've forgotten to do? I've forgotten to make andesite alloy. Let me nip over there and do that real quick. Yeah, I forgot to hold a torch in my hand so you couldn't see the best, especially since I can't afford to pay for the screen recorder, so I have to use the free version, which obviously isn't great. But yeah, I apologise, I'm sorry. I will try and remember in future, but I may end up having to install a Fulbright mod. I don't really want to because it feels too much like cheating, but you know, if it's going to be a regular issue. Yeah. Anyway, to place down a rotational speed controller, you need a large cogwheel, and then the rotational speed controller goes on the bottom, and then it spits out there. See, that's so power can either go in there or out there, and or out there and in the other. Doesn't matter which way round you do it, but then you can choose your RPM. Now, I want to crank that all the way down to 1. I don't know, it may be able to go faster, but the reason I want to do this is because I want these belts to be spinning really, really slowly, so that when things come out of here, they've got lots of time just on this one belt to get washed, cooked, haunted, smelted, whatever we're using, which is why we're slowing down this belt. Now what I could do is have another row of brass funnels, or even some brass tunnels along here with filters in them that say, you know, only accept if this thing can't be cooked, or this thing can't be washed, or this thing can't be smelted. But if I want to smelt something like stone, if I want to put cobblestone in and get stone out, I'm not going to. I'm going to put cobblestone in and I'm going to get smooth stone out, which I don't want, because I am going to want to smelt some stone at some point. So we may be able to go higher than 1, but we're going to start with 1. Yeah. So we then need to hook that up to that, because I want all of this to be, you know, self-sufficient, as it were. So, yeah, this needs to attach, and how we're going to do that is with some encased chain drives. Now, encased chain drives are insanely easy to make. Oops, if you can get it right. It's an andesite casing and then zinc or iron nugget, and all they do is transfer rotational force like so. If you can imagine, there's a little chain inside there and it spins. So we put 2 there and 2 there, so now these things are connected, and when this spins at 256 in that direction, 256 is the maximum speed, can be changed in the config but I don't advise it, it causes all sorts of problems. Then this will spin at 1, which is good. We want this spinning at 1. We then need up here, let's not use that, let's use our cut tough bricks, a blocks space, and then we need our encased fans. That's facing in the wrong direction. I think I've talked about this before, but if you just click and place, it will things will place facing towards you, but if you shift click and place, it will face away from you like so. So that's a quick and easy way of doing something like that. Just triple check I've got my mic on. Okay, sorry, I've had all sorts of problems where I keep forgetting to turn my mic on, and yeah, it's grating slightly. Oh no, there's bars, not grates. I thought I was making a genius pun for a minute there, and then I remembered that I wasn't. How very disappointing. Yes. My brain is not braining. Let's use. Is this too far? No, because we can extend. Okay. Let's just use some cut tough bricks here, because why not? Yeah. Anyway, we need to encase this area beneath these fans. I'm going to leave it open at one end for the minute. Actually, I'm going to leave that because that's probably where we'll power those from. Get the power from there. Yeah. Yes. Sorry, brain cells. Because we need to put in our water, lava. We need water, we need a campfire, we need a soul campfire, and we need lava. Now, I know I've got water, I know I can find lava, but it'd be really useful to get some. I'm sure I do. I couldn't tell you where. No, apparently I don't. Okay, fair enough. Do I have at least a bucket? I do. Okay, let's grab a bucket, let's craft a bucket. And I will run and grab some lava in a minute. Let's look for campfires, because I can never remember the recipes. Campfire. I should have some of that in here. I do, that's the wrong thing. Look at me go. So. Hey, there we go. Series of wrong button moments, but there you go. Okay, I'm going to throw myself in a hole. Let's just start because we're not going to need it. Once I've built this and got it powered, I am going to destroy all of that because it's not very pretty. And I am going to try. I don't normally bother making my builds pretty, but because at the end of this series I would like to do a world download for everybody, it is important to me that I make things look at least vaguely good. Yes. So I hope you guys appreciate me putting in the extra effort to make things look nice, because I don't normally bother. What was I going to say? Oh yeah. Nope. Immediately forgot. Oh yes. So we do have create. No, of course we have create. This is a create mod series. We do have keep inventory on in this world, which I did have some people commenting saying, "Oh, you're cheating." Basically, I don't care because and I'm not just saying that because I'm a mean and horrible human being, because otherwise we would be here all month with me dying, because I am horrifically bad at the game. So having keep inventory on just gives me that bit of leeway, and I am using it as a sort of fast travel home. Absolutely, which is the main thing that people are disagreeing with, not the having of keep inventory itself. But the alternative would be to install like a what's it called, a /home mod, where you type in the chat /home and it takes you to wherever you set your home as. One day I will get good at parkour. One day. There we go. That needs to be a block taller. I need a lot more in case change out actually. Yeah. So absolutely I could do that, but I don't want to, because it's adding more mods where I don't need more mods. And once again I am short of wood. You know, given it literally grows on trees, I am very disappointed at the amount of time I spend being short on wood. Which sounds like a euphemism, but so let's grab some kib. I've probably got some bone meal somewhere, so we can just bone meal. I think I'm right when I went to Nether. Bone blocks. Lo and behold. Yeah. That's probably way too much. Oh well. Let's... I also, actually, I wanted to cite this now, rather than thinking it later down the line. When I eventually get round to adding add-on mods to this series, how do we feel about me adding Farmer's Delight? Because it's not anything to do with the Create mod, but people do play Create with Farmer's Delight quite a lot. So if you want to see Create with Farmer's Delight, do give me a shout. Cite your opinion, because I want to make this series about teaching you guys what you guys want to know. Like, there's no point in me yapping on about things that you lot already know how to do. I mean, frankly, if you're watching this series, you probably already know how to do it anyway. Or have at least seen something that would vaguely tell you how to do this sort of thing. But, you know, you may well not. This may well be. You may well be following along with this series, which is a really stupid idea. But if you are, I am well honoured, to be honest. Because I'm just some idiot, really. I've been playing Create Mod a long time, but other than that, I have no real qualifications. Yeah. If you are following along, by the way, I hope you've been watching everything that I'm doing, because I am actually doing things, which I know is very inspecific, but I will explain it once I've done it, I promise. Where's me? Thanks. So we are going to craft a gearbox. I don't believe we've crafted a gearbox in this series quite yet, but they're relatively simple. You can have a vertical gearbox if you use diagonals, or a regular gearbox if you do it like that, and obviously you can then rotate it with a wrench. I want a vertical gearbox, that's going to go there. Excuse me. So what we've got at the moment is this belt will power that belt, and we've also got these presses will power these fans as well. So the other thing that we need to do is we need another gearbox. Now I'm sure I've got some more wood. Honestly, of all the things that you thought would be the problem when starting a series, I did not think wood would be one of them. There we go, and then this big long belt will also power these belts as well, but at full speed rather than that one over there powering to 1. So now all we have to do is attach these to these, which I could do with 2 encased chain drives, but because these are going to spin at different speeds, it wouldn't work. And then everything will be connected together, and all we have to do is power one thing, and probably our power generation is going to go, I think, over here, so that'll probably be, well, there. So now what we've got to do is attach those together, which shouldn't be a complicated process. Yeah, let's use encased chain drives. In case you haven't noticed, I love an encased chain drive. You can use belts in place of encased chain drives if you really want to, but I prefer it this way. Because the thing you can do with encased chain drives, if you put one there, you can rotate it 90 degrees like that. Which means now all I need to do is put in a vertical gearbox here. Which of course means I need more cogs, for Christ's sake. Let's do that. Let's just make a full suite. Let's do that. Rotate it. This rotation thing, by the way, doesn't come natively with the backpacks and things. It is, I can't remember, crafting tweaks I think it's called. Yeah, but now whenever we power any of this, it will power all of this, which is great. That's what we want. Now one last thing, no, not one last thing, one last thing for this little section at least. Have I got some more andesite casing somewhere? Oh, it's right there in front of me, there we go. One last thing is you can encase... oh, hello. Health and Safety's come to look at our new build. You can encase... Because there's one of you, then there's 2 of you, there's only more of you lot. Yeah, it tends to chase you. Actually invoke some handrails, but frankly it's unlikely. Right. Yes, you can encase shafts like so, just to make them look a bit nicer. I'm going to put that there. But you can also encase belts like so, also make them look a bit nicer. You can encase them with any variety of casing. You can use brass casing, copper casing. There are lots of things that can't be encased, and lots of things that can't be used as casing, but there is a create encased add-on mod, which is great for decoration for things like this, because you can encase like chain drives and things and make them look different, and all sorts, which is very pretty. Not clever, so you know. Oh, I haven't put the water in, that's not very intelligent of me. Let's get some copper bars. I also want to put one there just to make that look a bit better. And then the water's going to be that. Okay, so that is this little system done. All we've got to do... Now, I don't know if these are going to be spinning in the right direction relative to this. Because these need to be blowing, obviously, but then these belts need to be going that way and that way respectively. So, if they are going in the wrong direction, if you're building this and happen to have a power system already set up, all you need to do is rotate that, so instead of plugged into there, it's plugged into there, and that will spin round all of that top section. That is pure coincidence, by the way, that I managed to make that happen. And actually, come to think of it, that might not. Oh no, it should do. Depends where you plug it in, to be fair. If you plug it in there. Yeah, either way, you need these belts going that way, obviously, that belt at the end going that way, and then those need to be blowing. So some gearboxes may yet be required, but we don't know. Anyway, this system, we've got cooking, we've got haunting, we've got smelting, we've got washing, we've got a double press, and a chest. That's great. Sorry, I thought I heard my front door opening for a second there. That's different daylight's happening. I think it's a bit windy out. Come on, brain. Yes. So now all we need is just to finish up doing these last few bits, and I'm going to put them probably along this wall. So we want 2 basins and a depot. I'm sure I had a depot and a depot. Oh no, I'm going to need 3 basins, aren't I? Jesus, that really shook me. Just, oh my, oh my, oh my, oh my. Press, 2 mixers, just in the right place. Yeah, because we can extend that wall, of course. And a deployer. In hindsight. That would be clever, because then those 2 will power each other. Okay. Now I need some copper, which I probably should have thought of, but never mind. Let's just smelt up a stack of this stuff. Now the reason we need copper is because we need copper sheep, not sheep. Oh my god, Jesus Christ. Copper sheets. Can you imagine what a copper sheet would look like? If anybody feels like sheep to account for me and my infinite stupidity, we need copper sheets because we're going to need a pump. Now, we should only need the 2, I believe. I think it's 2 copper sheets and 1 just copper. Gimme. Thank you. There we go. Yeah, that gives us 4 pipes, and then I believe I have a small cogwheel somewhere. Apparently not. That's okay. We can craft one. Oops. Do I have any planks? No, of course I don't. Why would I? Let's make a bunch of them. We need a single small cogwheel, and then combine that with some fluid pipes to get a mechanical, pump. The reason we need a mechanical pump is because I want one of these basins to accept water. Yeah, so we need an infinite water source back here. Like so. I will grab some water later, but yeah, the infinite water source will go in there. So now all we need to do is get these things powered. How am I going to do that? Ever is the question. Oh yeah, let's also put in blaze burner down here. I would see some stairs there. Let's go and have a kid. Jeez, I'm still... It's only little things like that that get to you, don't they? Right, what was I doing? Oh yeah. Powering this. Now obviously we want it powered off of that, because we want it all to be one coherent system. So first things first, we're going to need some shafts, and from those shafts, a cogwheel, if we can find where I put my tanks. There we go. Just the one, because that needs a cogwheel to power it. Let's put the gearbox in there. Where have I put my shafts? And then some shafts there and there. Doesn't matter which way these are spun, by the way. We then need to get power to that, which is also going to be a cogwheel. So let's put the cogwheel there. If I put the gearbox in there, then I can just another cogwheel. What I love about Create is this problem solving element. It scratches the same itch as programming without the... It's sort of... It requires less brain power, basically. If I do that, and then I can make another cogwheel which can go there, and there you go, that is our pump. And those 2 thingamabobs being powered. You can also encase by the way, which I will do actually, just to make you look nice. You can also encase pumps, but only with copper casing. There we go. And then we just need to get power to these. How am I going to do that? How am I going to do that? I don't really want to go underground with it. Yeah, right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make some encased chain drives. I know my solution to all problems in there. Like so. And we're going to do that. Bring a shaft along here, and then just make a encased chain drives. Falling off my house. This will be my house, by the way. I'm going to put my bed in it. So. But it is primarily... Oh, Jesus, that was a hell of a gust of wind. It is primarily going to be workshop. There you go. What was I doing? Encased chain drives. 3 of them? 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. Encased chain drives are a bit finicky with their placement. There we go. And then let's... where have I put my casings? Let's then encase this as well. There you go. So that is all powered. Amazingly. Well, all connected, I should say. It's not all powered. And I believe that is everything that I wanted to do this episode. It's probably been a bit of a long one, given, especially considering we haven't actually done that much. So I may end up having to edit out lots of this, I don't know. But let's go over to the looking tree, shall we? The famous looking tree. This tree, or block of trees, is staying, by the way. I'm going to take all this down. The block of trees stays. There we go. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much, everybody, for observing our episode today. Apologies, I'm a little bit shaken because it's only my front door open, which for some reason scared the living daylights out of me. I believe it was just the wind, but you know. Anyway, yes, we have built an workshop. I haven't powered it. That will be happening in the next episode. So thank you all very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. I love you very much. Please do consider subscribing, leaving a like, all those good things that the algorithm likes us to do. Yes, that's quite a good way of waving, isn't it? Hello! Or goodbye, I should say. So, goodbye everybody. I shall see you in the next episode. I don't know when it will release. I don't even know when I'm going to record it. Not today though, because I'm far too shaken. Thank you very much. Yeah, goodbye. Which button do I want? That one.